What's up, guys? This is Michael, Treeline Backpacker. Today we're looking at a sleeping pad from Sea to Summit. This is the Ether Light Extreme sleeping pad. This is a lightweight inflatable sleeping pad with insulation. It does have a fairly high R value of 6.2, which theoretically means it should be warm enough to use in winter temperatures on frozen ground or snow. It does have this nice baffle design. You can see they call this their air sprung cells. Basically, you have these welds in between that create these nice little pillows, and that's going to give you considerable loft and springiness for when you're sleeping. That's going to do a couple things. It distributes your body weight. It gives you this nice tufted kind of sensation against the skin. It does kind of resemble and feel like a mattress at home. Of course, it doesn't have the natural springiness to it, but the air does act like a spring when you do quilt the mat like that. And it does work quite well. It's comfortable. It's plenty thick enough to where you're not going to feel the ground or even big lumps or sticks or rocks or anything. So you're not going to have to worry about that. When you're sleeping on your side, you have plenty of compression to keep it not so tight that you're just going to kind of bounce off the thing, but it does give you quite a bit of squish when you're on it. But even with a very light inflation, you're not going to touch the ground. So that does feel quite nice when you're using it. It is plenty wide enough for the average guy to stay on without their arms falling off too much. It is a little bit better for, I would say, stomach or side sleeping. I would prefer it just to be a tad bit wider for back sleeping, just because your arms will slip off during the night. If you have a mummy style sleeping pad or sleeping bag, that is, that would help you stay on a bit. But if you're using a quilt, you'll probably just kind of sprawl off of it. But it's still quite comfortable even if you do that. That's only really going to be a problem if you're kind of sleeping on the pad in the winter and it's frozen. But I do like the comfort of it. It feels quite great. Sea to Summit makes some of my some of the best sleeping pads as far as comfort goes, at least as far as I'm concerned. The material quality is quite good. It's got a nice nylon build. It is ripstop. I don't know if you can see that in the video. We do have the packaging, which goes over some of the details. You can see this is a kind of a one-way valve on the top, and that's used for inflation. So you can open this up, inflate it there without losing air, and once you pull this tab, it just dumps all the air out at once. So you have easy inflation, quick deflation. I like that quite a bit. We can flip it over and look at the bottom. It's basically the same thing, no surprises there. It has a slight mummy shape, so it is a little bit higher at the top than at the feet. Plenty of foot room. I found that me being 5'8", I have plenty of length. I'm not having my head or feet hang off the thing, so I have enjoyed that. The insulation on the inside, it's quite good. I've not got the chance to use it in the winter, of course, but I am hoping to get a chance to do that. It is Thermolite, which is a synthetic insulation, so if moisture does get inside, that's not going to be a problem. It should be fairly durable, so it should hold up for a long time as far as the insulation going flat, which can happen on the inside of a pad. A lot of people don't realize that. The actual weight of this thing comes in at 720 grams. That translates into 25.4 ounces, which is about a pound and a half roughly. I didn't do the conversion, but somewhere in there. It does come with a nice inflation stuff sack. So this can actually be used once you tuck this bladder inside it. That can actually be used as a stuff/storage sack. So you can shove it down in there, use it inside your backpack or just keep it in your house or whatever. This side pulls out and becomes sort of an air bladder. You can see this is a valve. You bring this up and connect it to that, and this allows it to very quickly inflate. Basically, you'll capture air using this. You can just puff into it, close it real quick and roll it down, and that's going to allow you to very quickly just squeeze a ton of air into the sleeping pad. You can even catch wind as it's coming by, and it's going to help you to inflate it quicker as well. I can do just a quick puff, close it up, squeeze it down, and actually inflate this entire pad in about 3 tries, which is fantastic. I really like that. Probably my favorite part about the sleeping pad are these, and that does come included. We could take another look at the packaging, which is quite fancy. My only complaint is this is plastic. That seems completely unnecessary. It's a whole lot of plastic. I'm not sure. It is recyclable. It's a number 5. So whether or not you can actually recycle this in your area, it's going to be really up in the air. A lot of places will not recycle a 5. And to me, while this is nice packaging, it's going to protect the pad. It just seems like a waste. They could use cardboard for this instead, or something very similar. So kind of knocking them down on that. My pad also did come with a very small, well, I won't say it came with it, but 2 weeks into use, I did develop a very slow leak. It's not a big deal. It's still usable the way it is, and it came with a patch kit, so that's not a problem. It is patchable, so I'm going to patch it up. Shouldn't be a problem. But this is actually the second time I've had a Sea to Summit pad do that. Could just be coincidence. Could just be me. I do use them in the grass and rocks and gravel and just about everything. So it's quite likely, especially as it did not leak when I got it, that I did something to it and there's just a small pinhole somewhere. But that is worth throwing out there. They do patch up really well. And the other pad that I have that did also develop a leak never developed another one, and it's about 5 years old now. So that's actually quite good. Any pad will eventually develop a leak. So it's good to know that they're easy to patch and the patches do hold. So don't let that discourage you. That's actually going to be a good thing. You want to be able to repair your gear. You want it to last as long as possible. And if you're able to patch it up, that's how you do it. So they do include that. It includes the stuff sack, the inflation sack combo, and this is the pad itself. Quite the fan. It packs up very small. You can get it into your backpack without actually using the stuff sack, which allows you to kind of pack it flat, which is what I prefer. I do pack the stuff sack with it just to make it easier to inflate, because that's so much better than huffing and puffing once you get to a camp or a campground. You really don't want to be just inflating this with your mouth if you don't have to, because you're going to get dizzy, you're going to get tired, and honestly it's just not very enjoyable. But that's it. That's the Ether Light Extreme sleeping pad from Sea to Summit. Expect a full review of this coming up quite soon. Big fan. Spoilers, I highly recommend this pad. I love it. It's so comfortable, feels great, easy to use, inflates so fast. And really, I don't have any reason not to recommend it. There are lighter pads on the market, but you're definitely not going to get the comfort that you get from this. Plenty light enough to be packable, and you can take it long term on a backpacking trip without having to worry about the weight. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, for more details, just reach out. Check out treelinebackpacker.com for the full review. Thank you.